Hello, heroes and Zargons. My name is Matt, or Blackbird if you prefer, and this is the Trials and Tribulations of Zargon, a series which details the many ways in which the Emperor's heroes foil Zargon and his minions in their plots to conquer the Empire. In it, we'll review the published quests and any house rules or modifications we're using to make the game more interesting and challenging. In this episode, I'll be discussing and ranking the 10 cards in our Barbarian Leveling deck. Homebrews and modifications, the prerogative of any tabletop RPG gamer, and second favorite pastime of most, coming in just behind painting minis. I don't paint my minis. Talented as some people are at it, I just prefer the austere quality of plain and simple characters to the garishness of brightly colored minis, but I digress. We're here to talk about character leveling. Now, a lot of HeroQuesters out there have developed their own ways to buff up their characters, and a lot of those ways are very well thought out and very well balanced for gameplay. But there are some that are also very complex, and loath as we may be to admit it, HeroQuest is a simple game. It's not D&D with its open-world campaigns and almost infinite opportunity for improvisation and embellishment. It can be a lot of fun to add backstory and lore to the world of HeroQuest, but when you get down to it, every quest is contained and the gameplay mechanics are really very simple. If you enjoy adding multiple levels of complexity to HeroQuest, then by all means have at it. If, on the other hand, you'd prefer to expand the game a bit while sticking to its simplistic nature, then the leveling system we're using might be what you're looking for. We've outlined how exactly our leveling system works in previous videos. Our leveling decks for heroes consist of 10 cards each, and they all try to stay true to the original components of the game without adding anything new. And when I say we, or our, I mean Dave, since he's the one that created all of this and I'm really just along for the ride. But with all that being said, it's time to rank another hero leveling deck. This time we're tackling the Barbarian Levels. I'll review each of the 10 cards in the deck and rank each one based on how useful I believe they will be in helping my Barbarian to defeat Zargon. I'll be using a generic tiered ranking system that I got from tiermaker.com, with F being the lowest rank and S being the highest. And just like I did with the wizard leveling deck, I'll begin by saying that all 10 of the possible level cards for the Barbarian to draw are useful. I don't rank any of them at level F or level E. Starting at rank D, I'm putting the skill Destroy feature. This is a really cool idea, true to the nature of the Barbarian character. I just don't know how useful it would be. Destroying a piece of furniture to cause 1 body point of damage to adjacent creatures. First off, you shouldn't be content with your Barbarian only doing 1 point of damage per turn. Second, monsters move around, so it's not often that there will be a large group of them all adjacent to a piece of furniture. Thirdly, your other heroes can be hit by this as well, so it limits their movement in a room. Actually, this skill probably has more use clearing space in an otherwise crowded room than it does as an attack. Moving up to rank C, I'll start with Heroic Fortitude. Taking damage from traps no longer ends your turn. You still take the damage, though. But if there are monsters on the other side of the trap, you get the chance to take one out before they start coming for you. And raising your success rate of jumping past traps from 50% to 83% is nice. Also in rank C, I'll put Taunt. Rules as written, monsters don't have a lot of places to go. This skill could be useful to get a monster away from a weakened party member, but most of the time the Barbarian should be running interference for the other heroes already. Our house rule that monsters can move through closed doors, running away from heroes in order to keep our wandering monster timer alive, makes this a bit more useful. But since it can only be used on one monster at a time, another monster can easily take up the job of running away. On to rank B, where I'll place the skill Stunning Blow, reducing an enemy's attack or defend dice to 1 for a turn. It'd be nicer if it was both attack and defend. It would also be nice if you didn't have to declare using this skill before you roll your attack. If you roll poorly, you waste your skill. Even still, this could be huge in some boss fights or drawn-out battles with strong enemies. The last skill to talk about goes into rank A, and that would be Follow Through. You don't have to declare this one before you attack. If you kill an enemy and there's another in melee range, just go for it. One way the expansion quest packs try to up the difficulty of this game is to just pile more monsters into rooms. This skill lets you clear them out more quickly, especially if they're easy monsters, goblins, orcs, or skeletons, more pests than actual threats for seasoned adventurers. So, that takes care of the 5 skills that are in the Barbarian level deck. The other 5 cards are stat increases, and 3 of those 5 are extra body points. I thought long and hard about how I wanted to rank these 3 identical cards. Extra body points are great for the Barbarian. A Barbarian's job is to deal damage and to take damage. With expansion monsters like giant wolves and ogres wielding 6 attack dice, and polar warbears wielding 8, more body points are imperative for your Barbarian to be able to step up and run interference for the weaker heroes. My current Barbarian has all 3 body point level cards, plus the Amulet of the North artifact, for a total of 13 body points, and 5 defense dice for what it's worth. And he still gets killed sometimes, only to be saved by healing potions. I decided to put 1 body point card in rank B, 1 in rank A, and 1 in rank S. The first extra point you get is nice, but not too big of a change. The second and third extra points make your Barbarian increasingly more sturdy. The last card I'll put in rank A is the extra mind point. There's a part of me that feels silly for ranking 1 mind point so high for the Barbarian. Intelligence is not typically the forte of Barbarians. But 4 out of the 5 skill level cards for the Barbarian are only able to be used a number of times equal to the Barbarian's mind points. Mind points are very underutilized by the original game rules, and this is a way to try and make them more relevant. So, since the Barbarian has so few mind points to start out, an extra point allowing more uses of the other skills is very helpful. And the last level card to rank is the extra attack die. This goes to rank S. Adding an extra die to all attacks is great. Longswords now get 4 dice and become essentially battle axes with diagonal attack capability, allowing you to add a shield for extra defense as well. Crossbows likewise get 4 dice and become ranged battle axes. Or you could keep the battle axe without a shield and attack with 5 dice. The most powerful hero attack in the game is the Genie spell for 5 dice, and that's a one-off. Now you can attack with 5 dice every turn. And, after all, a Barbarian's job is to deal damage and to take damage. He knows what he's talking about. As of this recording, my Barbarian has the 3 extra body points, the extra attack die, and the follow-through skill. Considering the card draws for levels are random, I'm pretty happy. I'd like to get the other levels, but I think for the near future, I'll be spending my gold on some other characters. Please, like and subscribe and let me know if you agree with my rankings or what you think I totally messed up on. And if you've got any other ideas for Barbarian improvements, let's hear them. Let's plot together in the comments below.